Hi, Matthias. Hello.
Hey, welcome.
How are you today?
Hi. So great to be here.
I'm very well, thank you. So we have a lovely show to present to our watchers. So we will be doing lots of training today. And hi, everyone. Welcome to Learn Together series of Microsoft Fabric Administration and Governance. Me and Matthias are going to present today. So as you may already know me, but my name is Mahmut Olcay, and I'm Microsoft Data Platform MVP with a strong background in databases, cloud solutions, and business intelligence. Currently, I'm the founder of Momentum Data Labs, where we provide IC consultancy, training, and business intelligence solutions. And also, you may have already heard that I also run a YouTube channel called Momentum Plus, where I share tutorials, insights on Azure databases and Power BI, and also Fabric as well. So I'm going to help professionals accelerate their careers in the data. So you are more than welcome to my YouTube channel. So can you please introduce yourself, Matthias?
Yeah, will do. Hey, great to meet you. I'm Matthias. I'm from Switzerland. I'm a trusted advisor working at corporate software, doing a lot of database projects with Microsoft Fabric and the cloud, building most of the architecture stuff, and it's a lot of fun. And so I really, really like the technology, and I'm very happy that we can bring some stuff today to you about Microsoft Fabric. So I think, well, hey, let's go. We have some moderators, and thanks to all of our moderators, Damian, Geethan, and Thomas. Thanks for being there in the chat. So if you have your questions, they will answer all the questions in the background, and that's really, really great and really, really helpful, and a huge amount of knowledge also in the background there. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
This as part of a series, we started with getting started with data engineering on Fabric, went through managed data with notebooks and real-time intelligence, data warehousing, CI, CD, and monitoring, all surrounded around these DP-700 exam to skill you up, that you can pass these exams, that you are well prepared. And today we are talking about administration and governance. So yeah, it's a bit of work, it's a lot of fun, it's a bunch of knowledge, but all the great new stuff, well, is not so far away in Las Vegas. So there's a FabCon, Fabric conference. You will learn everything that you need to know about Fabric and even more. And Mahmut, will you be there?
Yeah, definitely. I'm flying to Seattle on 22 of March, so I will be presenting in Vegas. And so hopefully our watchers will join in our sessions in Vegas too.
That's great to hear. Yeah, so I think we have more or less the same trip. So I'm also flying over from Seattle to Vegas. And I'm very, very happy to see you all and see you, Memo, too then. So let's have a great time in Vegas. And if you join us, well, great to meet you then, and just join in and say hello. We have also a World Championship, the Power BI Data Viz World Championships. 4 weeks, 4 challenges, 4 finalists. So each week you will tackle a brand new data set and create your best Power BI visualizations. Weekly winners earn a spot in the grand finale at the Microsoft Fabric Community Conference. And there will be one champion, of course. The finalists will go head-to-head live on stage in an electrifying battle for the title of the Power BI World Champion. So this is great. There will be prizes, there will be global recognition, there will be a lot of fun. So if you are in with Power BI, and even better if you are in with visualizations in Power BI, then go ahead and join ak.ms GC PBI Champ. And maybe you are one of the finalists. So let's go ahead. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great opportunity.
Definitely.
So we are here for learning again about the DP-700 exam, all the stuff and all the topics. There will be a 50% discount voucher, which ends on the end of March 2025. It's a limited offer, ak.ms/gp/dp700. Well, just accept the challenge. There are a bunch of challenges today, right, with the World Championship and the exam. But well, 2025 is the year of the challenges.
So, it's a great opportunity, by the way.
Have questions? Do we?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, to be honest. Yeah.
It is. It is. Yeah. If you have questions, just ask the questions in the chat. Just say hi. Just ask the stuff that that comes through your mind while we are talking. So the moderators are there to help you out, and this is your place, right? So and when we have time at the end, we will even answer some questions live. So let's see. So Mahmoud, should we start?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited. So people, I believe most of the people are 100% excited. So what are you going to teach us today, Matthias?
Yeah. So, well, let's just jump into the Fabric administration and governance a little bit. I think the first part is pretty similar through all this throughout this series. So let's go a little bit faster through that, right? We will have a DP-700 overview, some Fabric admin tasks and tools, admin portal access, governance, and then some practical tips for the DP-700 success. So the exam itself, well, that's the overview. It's basically, of course, surrounded around Microsoft Fabric. It's a bit like deeper than the DP-600. It's about ingesting, securing, managing, monitor, and optimize, and so on. It's against the Microsoft Fabric data engineer role, right? So we have the objective domain of the exam, like an implement and manage an analytics solution, which takes about 1/3, and ingest and transform data, which is also about 1/3, and then optimize, monitor and optimize is also 1/3. So very, very equally distributed. Yeah, we will get questions, of course, against that topics, right? So we have an older exam, which is the Azure Data Engineer. Don't know, did you take it, by the way, Mahmoud?
Yes, DP-203. By the way, I have lots of great tips at the end of the slide. So definitely. So as you said, it's a little bit deeper. It's like engineering focused. So I have many tips for our watchers. So they are going to love my recommendations for the exam, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. So the DP-203 is like the older one. It will be retired by the end of March, and the DP-700 is the exam to take, right? That's a new one. It's surrounded around Fabric. It might be that you still will work with some technologies from the DP-203 that can be, of course, it's still there, up and running in the cloud, all the stuff. But of course, the future is bright for the DP-700. We are talking today about Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is like the unified data platform for the era of AI. It's spanning all the stuff from getting data, over transforming data, to getting knowledge out of data like AI, and bringing data to life in Power BI. Everything is included in Fabric, which I personally think it's a fantastic approach. I really, really love it. You use just one capacity and you can do everything in one place. It's so great. And you have a great user interface with these different tool sets that you need, like the data factory, like the data engineering part, the data warehousing part. You can even go to data science and then pull out the informations with Python, visualize stuff with Python, getting deeper knowledge about your data, exploring your data with Python. You have this fantastic real-time intelligence, which I think is amazing and gives like a complete new opportunity to not only move like static data through your ETL process, but dealing with data in near real time and reacting to data and then pushing data towards the end user in the end, right? So I really, really like this real-time intelligence approach. And Power BI, we all know Power BI, yeah.
Yeah. It's as you said, it's a SaaS-based analytics data platform combining powerful features like you said, data integration, data engineering, data science, data warehousing, and real-time analytics. So it's I always say it's a one-stop shop for many in business intelligence developers and data engineers, to be honest.
Yes, it is. It's like the place to be if you love data, right?
Exactly.
So below or part of Fabric is OneLake. OneLake is the key component. OneLake has the principle of the one copy. All your data can be stored in OneLake. You can shortcut it somewhere. You can access it from different workspaces, but it's like you have only one copy of your data, the one's only principle. It's a SaaS product experience, as Mahmoud already said. It's secure. And behind all that, there's like a capacity model. So it's easy for calculation and has like a fixed pricing, right? Mm-hmm. Regarding data engineering, you have this lakehouse opportunity for all your data. You have warehouse on the other hand for storing big data and making deeper analytics. You have all the goodness of Spark right in Fabric that you can leverage. You have fantastic authoring tools, and you get almost every day more options to author your data, to deal with your data from your favorite tool set. And then everything is on the same platform. It's organized in workspaces. It's has the same security layer. So I really like this experience from my daily work. You also love it, Mahmoud, I think.
Yeah, it's a great you can create lakehouses, warehouses. It's a platform that unified analytics. So I love the product, by the way, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, let's have a little bit deeper look into Fabric administrations and tools. Mm-hmm. So we have some core concepts there, right? Which is first of all the tenant that you need. That's like your representation of your enterprise in the cloud. That's your starting point for almost everything. When you want to use the Fabric, you need a capacity. It's a SaaS model, right? Gives you some like credit points that you can use throughout the month. When you pay for the capacity, you can organize your data in domains and subdomains, which is somehow related to the data mesh approach that I really like, and I think it's very well suited to be combined with Fabric. The working environment that everything is organized in as a workspace. When you come from the Power BI service, you are very familiar with the workspace concept. Mm-hmm. And all the artifacts that you can create are items in the Fabric workspace. So Mahmoud, I think you wanted to add something there.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody loves Power BI. You and me also loves the Power BI. And if you are familiar with Power BI, so yes. That's a good news, by the way, for subscribers and also the watchers. Everything is well organized. If you know Power BI, so you can definitely learn quickly and adapt yourself to the new Fabric Studio and the environment. Yeah, as you said, tenant, capacity, domain, and you also said one critical thing, by the way, mesh topology. So it's a one single source of truth, and thanks to Microsoft and OneLake, it unifies all the data in one Azure group of data lake called Azure One Lake, by the way. So that's great. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we even see like an example of this data mesh approach here with the wide world importers and the different domains and subdomains in workspaces. So that's definitely a good idea to organize your data into workspaces and leverage domains and subdomains to get the data like sorted. Yeah, completely agree. Fabric workspaces are like a key component. So it's like the centralized environment that you can use for data engineering. You will most probably have assigned a team to a workspace. Of course, you have your personal workspace, but that's like something special. Besides of that, you will work with data engineers, data scientists, and so on in one workspace. So it's like a collaboration place also. It's from a governance point of view, it's very tightly related to security and data access because you can steer your data access and the relationship to identity and access management, Entra ID, through this concept of workspaces. And these workspaces are also often in my architectures like a safe zone. So you will get data in, and when the data gets out of a workspace, all the permission models are reapplied that are similar to the data source. But within a workspace, there's often like a safe space where you can rearrange, aggregate, and deal with the data. And there are then the workspace permissions granted and not the row-based or column-based or whatever metadata-based permissions. So it's a very important element for when you create your Fabric structure and architecture. You also have all the environment parameters. We will have a look at that later. And you have all the lifecycle management, which I think was covered in one of the previous sessions. I think it was just the last one with CI/CD. You have performance optimization, which will also be a topic today. And of course, everything is always integrated with one lake.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for detailed explanation, Matthias. It's a perfect centralized environment for data engineering. Like it's a concept, it's a workspace, and lies beneath all the Fabric Studio. It's a very important. It facilitates collaboration, manage data access, environment management. So perfect. Thank you, Matthias. Well explanation. Thank you.
Thanks, you're welcome. So let's have a short look at that famous Fabric workspace. You have these items and folders here, so you can arrange your items in folders, which makes them more easy to deal with because you will get more and more artifacts in one workspace. You can create new items. There's the pretty obvious new item button. When you click on it, it's like a little bit always like Christmas. You will get a bunch of items and it's getting more and more fantastic stuff just under this button. And you have some workspace information here, like licensing, like domains, and whether there is a deployment pipeline associated with that workspace for your CI/CD. You can manage your access. This is number 4. So you can grant access to that workspace, and of course you can revoke access from that workspace. It's like the first line of defense. And you have the workspace settings, and we will get into detail of that workspace settings. So you have a bunch of settings that you can go through. You need to be a workspace administrator to access these workspace settings, and then you see you can connect. You can manage your connections like ADLS Gen 2, Azure Log Analytics, and so on. You can set up your Git integration, GitHub or Azure DevOps integration. You can configure the integration with OneLake, for example, the shortcut caching options. You can create workspace identities when you want to authenticate the workspace against other data sources, for example. You have integrations of Fabric within private endpoints. So when you leverage a private endpoint architecture in your Azure tenant, then you most probably will integrate the Fabric capacity to some degree in that virtual endpoint structure to access the data. So you can do that here. And you have special configuration items regarding event houses for the monitoring the workspace activity in an event house. All the event house is part of the real-time event stream and event house, and all this real-time stuff has like a little bit different approach regarding monitoring because data is floating, and so it's like harder or at least different to get insights what's really happening there. It's not just storing the data. Yeah, so you deal with data that is floating around, which is amazing and gives you new opportunities like windowing, but has also some challenges, of course. Okay. Furthermore, you can manage your Spark configurations. So there's like a default Spark pool when you want to configure a dedicated or more specialized Spark pool, maybe with more power in it or so. You can do it here. You can adjust the compute settings. And when you want to go with Apache Airflow jobs, you can also configure the runtime settings for Apache Airflow runtime. So a lot of settings over the years. Expect more to come. Just a guess, but out of the past.
Yeah, that's it. By the way, Matthias, can we create custom pools from out of the standard pools? Are we also can able to create custom pools as well? Is it possible?
Yes, you can do. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So they have like a standard capacity, and I just had the case with a customer. They needed more power, and so yeah, you can attach custom pools.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. So you have some Fabric administration tasks. You need to be sure about security and access control. So I personally think applying the security and access control is part of the architecture and should be part of your workspace design, but ensuring the proper integration with identity and access management and leveraging all the power of Entra ID in your Fabric environment. This is a very important part, and managing the access on a lifecycle basis. You also have a very, very important task with data governance. So you need a solid understanding of the data governance principles. You should know how to secure inbound and outbound connectivity, how to monitor usage and performance metrics. There's a very common problem that you pull the data with some kind of like generic or technical user in the Fabric workspace, and then you need to reassemble or reapply the security based on the data source on the then aggregated data. So this is also part of the governance to ensure. So basically, nobody should get data out of Fabric that he or she is not able to see on the data source in most situations. And you also have a lot of customization options like private links or data classification, which is also part of the governance. You can leverage data classification policies from the data source down to the dashboard. So it's like an end-to-end scenario there. And of course, all the monitoring and performance optimization. This is very, very important when you have growing workloads, which is the standard situation when you start using Fabric. We will get more workloads, of course, and then you need to poke around with your capacity. You need from time to time to increase your capacity, but you have the so-called noisy neighbor problem that you need to deal with, right? You have people that are really engaged into data and they are using a lot of your capacity, and they need still to be enough for your reports, right? So you should not use everything on the AI or data transformation side. You have different Fabric administration tools like the Fabric admin portal. You can access Fabric with PowerShell. There are different PowerShell modules that you can use. For example, for the so-called on-premises data gateway, there's a PowerShell module. For Fabric itself, there's a PowerShell module that you can leverage for dealing with workspaces. And for near systems like eventID and so on, there are also dedicated PowerShell modules that you most likely will take into account when you spin up your Fabric and define your Fabric workspace and data governance lifecycle. There are APIs and SDKs that you can use, so REST services and SDKs that you can deal with Fabric. You have the monitoring workspace, where we'll have a look later in, and you have the Fabric capacity matrix app that we will also have a look in. This is important when you want to get an idea where are all your credits gone. So this is like the admin surface.
Lots of tools, by the way. Yeah, different tools that everybody needs to be careful. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, agree. I mentioned, by the way, the eventID module. There's also, of course, the AZ module, which spans all the Azure stuff like storage accounts and so on. So let's have a look at the admin portal. You have the tenant settings. Just be aware there are Power BI related settings that you can set in the Power BI service. There are Fabric related settings that you can set in the Fabric admin portal. And sometimes it's not so easy to figure out which to configure where. But here you have all the tenant settings, and usually it works a little bit like everybody can use it or specific people can use it. And specific people means most times this is a predefined group. So it's a good idea to define some groups for your engineers or for your admins that you can leverage here in this settings panel. You have also the Fabric admin monitoring workspace with feature usage and adoption and the Purview hub and all that stuff. And it looks great, by the way. So you can see what's your capacity running and the most active users and the most active items. And this is, it's nice to see that everybody loves Fabric as much as you do, but it's also helpful to spread the word, right? Because there you have some information that Fabric is really needed and really used and is a very, very important pillar in your enterprise. This is, it's like also in the adoption phase, one of the places to go where you can pull out information. On the other hand, when people start using this stuff, you will see that, well, the Fabric capacity will be used, and there will be most probably one moment in time where your credits are used and you are throttled, right? It's measured in capacity units. And you can just like take a credit and you have to pay it like back within 24 hours. So it's a flexible system, but in the end you get what you pay for. So there's like a limit on the credits. You can always increase the capacity. That's also an architecture question, whether you want to go with different capacities side by side or one big capacity. But anyway, you need to find out what's happening with my capacity units. And the Fabric Capacity Matrix app is the place to go, where you can get all these informations. You can see what is the foreground activity, so the interactive activity, what's the background activity, and where did you spend your credits, and is there maybe one job that is really running high, so you can identify that job and get an idea if this is really okay, or answer all that things. So in my like trusted advisor life, this is a very, very important app. At some point, it's a good sign when this app becomes important, because then workloads on Fabrics are running high. That's cool. Is it also important in your daily consultant life, Mahmoud? Do you also use Capacity Matrix app a lot?
Yeah, it seems like, you know, everybody needs to watch carefully. What I recommend most of my customers, first of all, Microsoft provides 60 days Fabric Studio for free, as you already said. So what I recommend most of my customers, first of all, try it and try to understand what consume it. Try use Fabric different items like data factory, like lakehouses, like warehouses, and then do some ETL tasks, and then understand what consumes most, and then implement it to get the right capacity, and then you can buy or subscribe the exact capacity that you need for your enterprise. So that's why Matrix apps is a very important and very well needs to be understood. Thank you.
Yeah, completely agree. And you can always double the capacity, like F16, F32, F64, and so on. So when you don't need the double amount of capacity, it's a good idea to work with more than one capacity, Fabric capacity, and then you can often move the noisy neighbors in a dedicated capacity, so they can make the noise in their own tenant and not in your tenant on the public Fabric capacity. So. Well, let's move over to user and item access, Mahmoud. I think that's very, very interesting part of Fabric and very important, isn't it?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, by the way. As you know, Microsoft Fabric security builds on top of Power BI security. So as an admin, admin role is to manage access, content sharing, and also the overall security policy. So when it comes to security, Fabric provides key security features like conditional access, which user uses Azure Active Directory to restrict access space, user identity and location, resiliency, ensuring reliability through all Azure availability zones, like Logsbox, which gives organization control over the Microsoft engineers access to their data. And also the service tags, allowing secure connections to Azure SQL managed instances, and also one-leg security, which helps protect data secure in a one-leg. So I'm going to present now what options for Fabric users as when security is concerned. So as you see on the screen right now, in Microsoft Fabric, user licenses determine the level of access and functionality available to the users. And as a Fabric administrator, your role is to manage these licenses is very important and crucial because someone needs to ensure that users have necessary access to permissions and work with the data and analytics as well. and also while restricting to the sensitive information, absolutely, which needs to be maintained compliance with data protection laws as well. So also effective license management not only enhances the security also, but helps control lowering costs by ensuring that licenses are assigned effectively and not only to those who need them. So that's why effective licenses is really important, and also to prevent necessary
Mahmoud,
expenses. Yeah. You
one
were saying
question.
something.
We are talking about Fabric. Yeah, we are talking about Fabric, but there is a Microsoft E5 license displayed. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Why?
Definitely, that's a Azure Active Directory. So on the left hand side, it's a licenses. You need to select. You need to manage the licenses effectively. So definitely, one needs to be. Capacity is a different thing, and Microsoft E5 is a different thing. Microsoft E5 comes with an Power BI, as you already know. Someone needs to have first of all, a Power BI user license and also a Fabric capacity to create Fabric items. So either you have one Power BI Premium licenses or Power BI Pro licenses, but definitely if you're a Power BI author or report author, so that definitely someone needs at least one Power BI license. So licensing is important.
Gotcha.
And as you on the screen, Microsoft 365 Admin Center, which serves as the central hub handling all Fabric licenses management, which makes easier to oversee all the available cost optimization and oversee the access management as well. So someone needs to be definitely familiar with Microsoft 365 Admin Center. As you see, it's an example of Microsoft 365 E5. So that's a license type that comes with a Power BI, and then definitely one capacity to be able to use all the Microsoft Fabric items. So I'm moving forward now. So when it comes to managing items and sharing, as an admin, managing how users share, distribute content in Microsoft Fabric is key to managing security and collaboration. Is someone, let's talk about an example. You want to control how users will interact with the Fabric items, data warehouse, pipelines, data sets, reports, dashboards. With Fabric Studio, you can control them. You can control practice, distribute all items through workspaces, apps. You can grant access, direct workspace access, all the things that you can do with access. You can share, edit, and also you can lots of security that you can assign to the Fabric users and also the report authors. Admins, also oversee on the previous slide. Yeah, you can share, revoke permissions. Different items have different permission levels, but read access is always included, by the way, and allowing users to discover shared items in the OneLake data hub. That's really important, by the way, and needs to be distributed very carefully from the workspaces. So when it comes to also Fabric governance, it provides a set of capabilities that help you, I will say, manage, protect, monitor, improve discoverability of your organizations. And maybe you can give some examples, Matthias. One needs to be very careful by helping sharing permissions to like, for example, lake houses or warehouses. What do you suggest for your customers, by the way, when it comes to sharing Fabric items, Matthias?
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. Thanks for pointing that out. So I think to really manage the security of Fabric items and especially Fabric workspaces, you need to integrate it with the proper group structure and enter ID and assign the permissions based on that groups, because when you work with this kind of open spaces in the workspace, no interactive sharing is appropriate. When you deal more with the, well, I do my own BI stuff in Fabric, which is also absolutely fine, then I think the interactive sharing is absolutely preferable and make things so much easier, because you can just pull in the people that you really need. So I think that's like a more an IT-centric or enterprise-centric approach versus more like a personal BI approach. And both is under one umbrella in Fabric, which is part of its power, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matthias. Yeah, so many of these, as you said, capacities and capabilities are built in Microsoft Fabric Studio and included in Microsoft Fabric license, by the way. But by the way, while some others require additional licensing, like from Microsoft Purview, we need to be also mentioning the Purview as well. So going to the next slide. Governance in Fabric, that's a really good slide that explains many key features, by the way, in terms of governance. Governance in Fabric, because it's built around, as everybody see right now, 4 key pillars. First of all, managing your data estate, securing and protecting data, and encouraging data discovery and monitoring insights. In the first pillar, like watchers are seeing right now, managing your data estate ensures that admins have centralized control over settings, capacities, domains, and workspaces, making data governance more structured. So that's really important. In terms of the security is concerned, security and compliance are really important and crucial. And also Purview, as I said before. Now, information protection and data loss prevention, these are help many people to safeguard sensitive information, and because it ensures that compliance with regulations, by the way. So that's the second pillar is really important. And also the third thing is the data discovery is another major aspect, because you are creating lots of Fabric items, and all the information is stored on the OneLake Data Hub. So that's why endorsements and data lineage is super important, because it helps make Fabric users to make it easier to find, trust, and also reuse that data in an effective manner. And the last thing, as you see, monitoring capabilities, such as monitoring help, capacity metrics like you taught us, and then provide insights to optimize performance and ensure also the governance. So all the 4 pillars together, these governance features to help maintain security, but also enhance data usability and operational efficiency within the Fabric environment. And if I would like to talk about like very small things, one I really like is the managing data estate, because in Microsoft Fabric, control all over your data assets, like admin portal. You can control tenant, domain, workspace settings. These are all provide configurable access to different levels, different things in your organizations. And also the thing is that is Fabric endorsements. So this is really important stuff. You know why it is important? Essential governance is also a feature that help establish trust in your data assets. Someone can endorse all Fabric items as trusted and appropriate. because item can be also trusted and also promoted. You can create certification. These are things that encouraging data discovery and trust. And also tags, allow customizable labels for improved data organization for retrieval, and also per view data map. These are things like automatically scans, fetches, it scans metadata, it fetches the information and making it easier to track data assets. So endorsement is really important. And also the lineage. You can track what data comes where. But by the way, I would like to ask you one important thing to you, Matthias. Do you use that lineage for on your customers?
Yes, it's always like the highlight when you show this lineage and say, hey, this is how your data is really flowing. This is fantastic, to be honest. And this is one of the first visual drivers towards governance, right? So because sometimes governance is very present, sometimes it's like bottom up, and this is one of the key things. So I really like and I use it a lot. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. As you said, it's a lineage and impact analysis that help public users to visualize, flow of the data and assess the impact of changes in Fabric Studio. So that's a really good, important thing. Not only in organization, but also these are the things like in the exam. By the way, that's governance is a key topic, so it needs to be carefully learned. By the way, yeah. So also. I would like to, talk about some data discovery. It's a really good information because it helps it scans the data and then also there is a catalog. I would say it's a helps to scan and discover and cataloging to enable users to find relevant data using business-friendly terminology and improving efficiency and accessibility. So that's a good feature because admin uses APIs to help this feature enabled and also the setup for Fabric users. So that's the thing that needs to be carefully look after. So now I would like to talk about some important stuff before the closings, because many of you have already talked about the Fabric needs to be set up, managed, and introduced. Data needs to be how to ingest, store, and integrate. Those are the things that needs to be really carefully study, because we are going to run through a couple of practical tips for success in this section for DP-700 exam. These should be the practical related, specifically implemented and managing the analytic solutions using Fabric. So I would say, many of you have already a strong background in the foundation of data engineering, especially particularly from DP-203. That's a data engineering exam. However, I would say transitioning to DP-700 requires understanding how Fabric integrates with those concepts. So definitely my first tip is, if somebody taken already DP-203 exam, if they already know about data ingestion, pipelines, and storage, well, I would say them good news, because making Fabric builds on top of these concepts, but integration into a unified environment with OneLake. So OneLake is a key feature, needs to be very carefully understood. And if I would like to talk about some key differences, so definitely instead of multiple storage accounts in the Azure ingestion layers, Fabric centralize everything into one lake. So data making data sharing across the all workloads easier. So one lake makes it really easy. So my second tip is hands-on with Fabric. As all everybody knows that theory is a great thing, but without hands-on experience, nobody can learn great things. So I will definitely encourage everyone setting up a trial environment. Microsoft Fabric is free for 60 days and it's available. Microsoft provides Microsoft Learn step-by-step guides that people can structure learn materials from Microsoft Learn. And also, I will definitely recommend that please start small. Try ingesting sample data sets. Fabric provides really good data sets, by the way. Have you tried, Matthias, have you tried setting up a pipeline using Microsoft Learn's articles?
Yes, yes, I did, and I think it's a great way to learn and a great way to well make like some errors at least because you try and you say, oh, I can modify this a little bit, but you can always like go back to the guided tour, right? And you get your first steps into Fabric and you get hands-on experience, and things are so easy today. I just used the Microsoft IoT plug and play app, for example, to ingest data into the event stream. So I simply need to check my mobile phone and I use the accelerator data to shake the bars in Power BI. It's that simple, and you could do it basically on your desk, and you get like highlight technology just on your fingertips. So it's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So Microsoft Learn is a really provides extensive articles and knowledge base for somebody who wants to learn Microsoft Fabric. So, and also one key tip is many exam questions are scenario based. So familiarity with Microsoft user interface and also the workflow will save valuable time. So that's why it's a 60-day free. So I would recommend definitely go learn from Microsoft stuff. That's the official deck, by the way. And then try it on the user interface on the Microsoft Studio. And then practice and practice. Because also one needs to be carefully master T-SQL, by the way, because DP-700 relies on querying the data just like traditional SQL databases, but with some differences in Fabric. So definitely needs to be someone check that the differences on the T-SQL mastery needs to be reviewed carefully, like aggregate functions, joins. These are the typical T-SQL stuff needs to be carefully studied. Also, running definitely I would recommend practical steps like trying running queries on Microsoft Fabric Studio. Go and spin up one lakehouse or one warehouse, and then try running queries on Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse and Warehouse. So how performance differs from different scenarios. So definitely important. And also utilize Microsoft Learn modules as more as possible because data ingestion in Fabric, managing security, optimizing performance, these are the critical things that needs to be very well studied to use official Microsoft Learn stuff. So those are really good exam tips. One last, to be honest, is I will definitely recommend many people to set up pipelines, monitor performance, and optimize workloads. to simulate real world scenarios. Those are the things needs to be carefully studied before taking the exam. But thanks to Microsoft Learn, all articles and all the base is provided by Microsoft. So that's a huge topic. Today we covered Microsoft Fabric and governments. On the next Learn Together series, there's going to be a prepare for exam day, an open question and answer. So I will definitely recommend watchers to attend the session to make everything is well understood before taking the exam. To summarize, what would you like to say, Matthias?
Well, I think we covered just the important stuff from monitoring and from governance and from the security point of view. We gave also a lot of notes from the field, from our project. So I think the thing, I really like the idea that you said, hey, just get your hands dirty, do something in Fabric. It's not just about learning. And I think we in the session, I hope we provided also just not Microsoft Learn content, but also our experience from the field. And so, like, it's again your turn, but you're not alone. We still have two sessions to go to prepare you for the exam. And I think with this lineup and with these sessions, I think everybody will be. It will be a breeze. I hope. Yeah. But I've heard that we have some questions. But I think we still have some slides to go, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. I have 2 more slides. First of all, in the Fabric Vegas. Yeah, definitely. So that's in the workshops. Maybe you are attending the workshops, by the way. In the workshops, there's a really good workshop for governance and attendance. So if you would like to attend the workshops, I really definitely recommend to learn Microsoft Fabric from expert like us, and needs to be definitely be there. Yeah, I'm going there. I will be there. You and I will be to discuss lots of things during the FabCon Vegas. Are we?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah. And I love to go back to Vegas. I think I was 6 or 7 years ago in Vegas, and I'm really looking forward. And it's by the end of March, 1st of April, so it's pretty near, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, it's there's a really good opportunity for 50% discount for exam DP-700. It ends on 31st of March. So it's a limited time offer that needs to be definitely taken. So there's a link, ak.ms.gc.dp700. Definitely go on. I will definitely wouldn't miss that opportunity, to be honest. So that's it for today. So thank you very much for listening to us. And if you have questions, we would love to answer those, definitely. Thank you.
I think there's one question, Mahmoud. So one attendee asked, can you do row-level security against OneLake?
Of course. Lakehouse and warehouse, those are supports row-level security, not only on the direct lake access level, and also warehouse and lakehouse, it supports row-level security, Matthias. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's based on metadata, so you can do it basically on every data source. Yes.
Microsoft provides.
There's also a question like. Yes. Is there the metadata scanning part of Fabric, or is it part of Purview?
Yeah, metadata scanning is a part of Fabric. Administrator can leverage Fabric admin APIs to allow and set up this feature. It's a really good feature to discover what lies beneath the in Fabric databases and also the warehouses. Yeah, absolutely. It's a part of Fabric.
Yeah, completely agree. But these products or these platforms are so well integrated that it's sometimes really hard to distinguish. So what is exactly where? And you have even different entry points for the same stuff, like Entra ID from the Microsoft 365 portal or Azure portal and so on, right? So it's very, very tightly integrated, everything. So, but well, thank you for attending. I think we are done for today. Thumbs up for your exam. We're wishing you the best when you take it. Might we will see you in Vegas, and if not, well, enjoy and practice Fabric. Get your hands dirty.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching us. So we will definitely. I will be definitely in Vegas, so I would like to see you there as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so take care.